You only have absolute control over one thing in this life, and almost no one realizes this in time. It's not about money, it's not about people, it's not about opportunities, it's about your mind. Those who learn to control themselves are never controlled again, and this simple, uncomfortable truth silently separates those who live, reacting from those who build something solid inside, while the world tries to pull them out of themselves. From a young age, you were taught to respond, to react quickly, to prove your worth, to defend yourself, to show that you are not weak. But no one taught you that immediate reaction is precisely the mechanism that weakens you the most. The world understands this very well. People understand this. Systems understand this. That's why everything around you tries to provoke you, rush you, destabilize you. Those who react lose control. Those who lose control surrender power. And those who surrender power end up being led without realizing it. Perhaps you've felt this before. That moment when someone presses the right button and suddenly you're no longer yourself. It's anger speaking. It's pride making decisions. It's anxiety choosing paths. It's fear taking the wheel. Then it passes, and when it passes, emptiness comes. The silent question, why did I do that? The problem isn't feeling. It never was. The problem is automatically obeying everything you feel. Most people live like this. On emotional autopilot, they believe they are free, but they spend the whole day being pulled by external stimuli. A criticism changes their mood. A frustration changes their behavior. A comparison changes their soul. A compliment changes their direction. They don't decide. They respond. And those who live responding are not in control. They are being led. Those who learn to control themselves begin to perceive something different. A small space between stimulus and response. An invisible yet powerful interval. In that space resides true freedom. Because there you can choose. You can observe the emotion without becoming its prisoner. You can feel anger without becoming violent. You can feel fear without giving up. You can feel the desire without acting impulsively. This space is trainable, and almost no one trains it. At first, controlling yourself hurts, because you'll want to react and you won't. You'll want to respond and you'll remain silent. You'll want to explode, and you'll take a deep breath, and that seems like weakness to an outside observer. But inside, something begins to reorganize itself. A silent strength begins to emerge, the strength of someone who is no longer pushed from one side to the other by events. The world tests those who try to control themselves. People provoke more. Situations become more uncomfortable. It even seems like everything is conspiring to throw you off balance. But this isn't punishment. It's a test. Life tests the solidity of your mind before entrusting you with bigger things. If you get lost easily, you can't sustain much. If you crumble under small pressures, you can't handle great responsibilities. That's why so many people give up halfway through, not because they lack ability, but because they haven't developed inner control. They want external results without having the emotional structure to sustain them. They want respect without composure. They want freedom without discipline. They want control over their lives without control over themselves. This never works. When you start to control yourself, something curious happens. People sense it, not because you speak, but because you change. Your posture changes. Your gaze changes. Your reactions decrease. You start to speak less and observe more. While many over-explain themselves, you take a stand. While many react, you choose. And that bothers them. It bothers them a lot. Those who lack inner control feel threatened by those who do, because their calmness exposes their chaos. Their silence reveals impulsiveness. Their firmness exposes their fragility. And then come the labels. They say you've changed, that you've become cold, that you've become distant, that you're not the same anymore. And they're right. You're not. You've evolved. Controlling yourself isn't about becoming insensitive. It's about becoming selective. You feel, but you don't give in. You perceive, but you don't get lost. You listen, but you don't absorb everything. You learn to protect your energy as something precious. You learn that you don't need to react to every provocation, nor explain yourself to every opinion. You learn that not every battle is worth fighting, and that many victories happen precisely when you refuse to engage in unnecessary wars. There is a type of power that makes no noise. It doesn't shout, it doesn't threaten. It doesn't need to prove anything. It's the power of those who govern themselves. Those who master their own minds don't need to control people. They don't need to manipulate. They don't need to impose themselves. Presence speaks. Posture communicates. Consistent behavior builds respect, and true respect is never asked for. It is a consequence, but this path is lonely, because while you learn to control yourself, many people around you continue to react. They continue to play the victim. They continue to blame the world. They continue to seek emotional shortcuts, and you begin to realize that you can no longer walk at the same pace. Conversations lose meaning. Dramas become small. Complaints sound empty, not because you are better, but because you have woken up to something that many still avoid seeing. You come to understand that pain is not the enemy. It is a teacher. That discomfort is not a sign of error, but of growth. That silence is not absence, it is strategy. That discipline is not prison, it is freedom. Because those who depend on motivation live at the mercy of their mood, but those who develop self-control act even without the will to. And that is what builds real results. Life doesn't reward those who speak beautifully. It rewards those who maintain composure when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when there's no recognition, when there's no guarantee. It's easy to appear strong in public. It's difficult to keep a firm mind in anonymity, in fatigue, in doubt, in the silent repetition of daily effort. But it is there. That character is molded. It is there that inner control solidifies. Have you ever noticed how the most unstable people are the ones who talk the most, explain the most, and react the most? They need the noise to drown out their inner emptiness. Those who are in control don't need that. They don't rush to prove themselves. They walk to build, and they build slowly, but they build to last. Maybe you're at that point today. Tired of reacting, tired of explaining yourself, tired of getting emotionally lost and then picking up the pieces. Maybe you're starting to realize that the real turning point isn't in changing the world, but in changing your response to the world. And that doesn't happen overnight. It happens with practice, with awareness, with repeated choices. Even when no one is watching, you will fail sometimes. You will react when you didn't want to. You will speak when you should have remained silent. You will let yourself be carried away by old emotions, and that's okay. Control isn't perfection. It's progress. Every time you notice and correct it, you strengthen that invisible muscle. Every time you choose not to react, you reclaim a little of the power you once possessed. Over time, something changes profoundly. What once shook you, now what once threw you off balance, now only comes into contact with you. You don't become invulnerable, but you become stable, and stability is rare. In a world of impulses, those who are stable stand out. In a world of reactions, those who choose become a reference. In a world of noise, those who possess inner silence become dangerous in the best sense of the word. Because those who learn self-control cannot be easily manipulated. They cannot be easily bought emotionally. They cannot be easily brought down by criticism, rejection, or temporary frustrations. They understand that emotions pass, but decisions remain, and they begin to decide consciously, not impulsively. You don't need to announce this change. You don't need to explain it to anyone. Just live it. The world notices us. People feel it. So, approach silently, seeking to learn. Others distance themselves, uncomfortable. Both reactions are signs that something in you has changed. And it has changed for the better. If you've made it this far, it's because this message has found something within you that was ready to awaken. Perhaps you don't yet have complete control over your mind, but you've already realized that living by reacting is no longer an option. And this recognition is already the first step towards real control. Now, I want to hear from you. In which area of your life do you feel you need to develop more self-control? Emotions, impulses, decisions, silence? Write in the comments. This isn't about showing off. It's about committing to yourself. If this message resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who also needs to hear this. Because when more people learn to control themselves, the less the world can control them. And remember, whoever governs their own mind never again walks without direction.